Okay, hi there. I'm going to be trying to make a video first, I guess first take, first try, no editing, just straight talking about my first few practice laps in the BMW M2 here at Summit Point for the next week's race. So I guess going to go over my thought process a little bit to start, what I'm looking for, stuff like that. So these are my first few laps practicing. What I'm going to be looking for, to be honest, is the inducing understeer primarily, and also where does it oversteer, finding my braking markers. I don't know exactly where they are. I think this is going to be a second. Yeah. So luckily I do know... I know Summit Point rather well, so that part helps. This car specifically... Okay. Fourth gear, it looks like. Yeah. Okay, so there's the understeer. So I'm pushing against the understeer right here. There. See, I'm over-exaggerating my hand movement. Push against that. Force it to understeer. And you can find that rotation limit a lot easier when you do that. When you go on the throttle, of course you oversteer. But oversteer in this car especially is what gets you into a lot of trouble. So on an oversteer car such as this, you want to try and find where does it understeer. So there's playing with the understeer, feeling for the understeer on that right turn, pushing against it to try and find that understeer, and that's also going to help me find my limit. It's also going to help me find my limit for where I'm braking and everything. Okay. So not super fast so far. Yeah, see, I can go a lot faster and brake a little bit later. Third gear, sure. Oh, right at what's my RPM gear? It's probably around 120 kilometers an hour. Sorry, I have a bad cough still. It's been a week or two. Around 120 kilometers an hour. There is that kick in the turbo. That's going to be really hard to deal with, I think. So there is 118.4.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
Let's see how much more I can get off. So cone 3, I think. Understeer to the apex. Ooh, that shift. I have to be careful with that. So because of that shift, I'm going to have to make sure my steering is more straight to make that shift. Understeer to the apex. Okay, so that what happened there, I understeered to the apex, but I didn't trail brake enough, and it's also going too fast. So this time, remember last lap, I said I could brake a little later. Look at that. Faster already. Isn't that neat? Here's just partial throttle. But push against that understeer. Push against that understeer. Push against it. And that's going to be the key to finding the limit. You can actually push against that understeer all the way to the apex and essentially your exit as well, a little bit. Trying to also get my right foot, my throttle foot, my throttle foot to become, I guess, partially what dictates the rotation on the end or exit of the corner, and the trajectory, the line, everything. That's when you're really jamming with this car. So See, push against that understeer. There is that. A little bit slower at the apex, a little longer onto the brakes. Did wonders. Okay, and so I understeered, but there was just not enough traction available. Just didn't work. Okay, so now I know I have to slow down just a little bit more for that exact corner. For this one, I want to make sure that I'm right here, shift up in the fourth right at that spot for the fast laps. Okay, let's see. Let's see how this goes. Use all of the track on exit. Not sure if that's the right gear or not. I haven't really tested that part on that final corner. Oof. Okay, so that was not it. It's the way that I straighten the wheel for shifting up. Don't do that. Okay, here you can definitely use that throttle to rotate the car around that apex, but not too much. Third gear seems to be the way. Okay. Don't miss that apex, it's a lot of time lost. Third gear? Maybe not, no. No third gear, you lose too much speed, can't maximize the rotation of your rear end. No good.
You just hit the fastest lap.
There. So there's a tiny bit of a bump and you shift after it. You really have to feel it out. Make sure you get enough rotation and then it works. Okay. Yeah, you really gotta use the throttle to come around on that corner. Don't shift up, it looks like. Third gear. Slowly ramp throttle. Don't miss the apex. Super important. See? A little bit off throttle and I actually had more more to gain. Okay. I'm gonna try for one more lap.
You just hit the fastest
Sorry.
lap.
Okay. Yeah, you just sort of have to steer with it when you shift into third. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so more gained by modulating throttle better. Okay, try not to let the traction control kick in too much on the exit when the rear end's swinging, or else you lose a little bit too much speed, and there you go.
You just hit the fastest lap.
117.2. More to gain, honestly. 26 Celsius ambient temperature, 39 Celsius track, 39 Celsius track, lap time of 117.2 after just about 7 minutes, so 10 minutes of practice. And that is how I try to, as best I can anyways, take a lot less time to practice, is by focusing on the understeer, figuring out where I can oversteer to gain a little bit, and there I go. Hopefully this video helps.